Hey, what is going on guys, Maroon Hardware's here. Netbooks have been around for over a decade, but some say that they are now obsolete. The point of netbooks starting in the early 2000s was simple. These cheap, low-powered, laptop-like devices served one function, which was to allow users to navigate the web and use light office applications. More intensive tasks like gaming, video editing, and rendering were not possible, due to the low-tier processor, limited amount of onboard memory, and a bundle of other reasons. So, my question is, are netbooks from 10 years ago or so still usable? What I have here for you guys today is a netbook distributed by a company that declined, more specifically the Gateway LT40, and I was able to score this guy for 20 bucks with Windows 7 Starter with it. Measuring it at almost 2/3 of an inch thick, this device would have set you back an average of about $300 in the mid-2000s, which is actually not bad for a price of what you get. Inside, we have an Intel N2600 Atom processor paired with 1GB of DDR3 memory. Now, these may seem to be too little memory and CPU power to handle multitasking, let alone web browsing. But this actually wasn't that bad to work with, and if you wanted to bump up the memory a bit, this device does support up to 2GB of SODIMM memory max. Even with only 1GB, navigating through tabs in Google Chrome and watching YouTube videos wasn't terrible. For storage, we have a 284GB hard drive, which is actually more than what I thought would have come with a device like this. Of course, SSDs weren't even close to being a mainstream addition to the common portable device, but the good old mechanical hard drive has proven faithful nonetheless. With file transfer speeds hovering around 11 to 19 megabytes per second, this is not the fastest drive in the world, but it gets the job done. If you do want to cheaply expand your storage any further, you could easily include an SD card in the provided port. We have a pretty good selection of I/O ports on the LT40, including VGA and HDMI video out, 3 USB 2 ports, Ethernet, and an SD card slot. Given that the thinness of the entire device obviously wasn't a priority here, there are plenty of options for I/O extensions such as USB connectivity for an external drive, a mouse, or even another monitor. Way to go, Gateway. Moving on to the screen, we're looking at a 1024x600 TFT LCD display, and this is one part of the notebook that hasn't aged so gracefully over the years. Viewing angles are decent, but colors do eventually wash out, and it does make doing things like watching videos a bit of an eyesore after a while if your screen isn't positioned at the perfect angle. The build quality of the device overall isn't bad though. There's not a lot of screen flex, and typing on the keyboard doesn't cause the entire screen to shake. Now for the keyboard. It's not amazing. The keys aren't as mushy as you'd assume, but the key layout makes typing a bit difficult, and there's definitely some getting used to. The keys are spaced out a bit close to each other, the backspace key is quite small for being the key I probably will use the most, and cleaning between the nooks and crannies is impossible. The lack of a proper numpad is a given when you keep in mind the dimensions of this little guy, but with my fingers so close together, mistakes are almost at every keystroke. I'll give this keyboard a C-. The good news for notebooks of this type is that it comes with GMA 3600 integrated graphics, so that means we can also load some classic emulators and have a bit of fun after we get done with the spreadsheet we've been working on, or something like that. For the most part, Super Nintendo and systems before that emulate perfectly, and I was able to connect my SNES controller to play games with. Unfortunately, platforms like the N64 and GameCube ran choppy and a bit behind what I would consider to be playable, but it's still an option with a few tweaked settings, I'm sure. I will have a link to where to buy the Super Nintendo USB controller adapter in the video description in case someone wants to use this $20 notebook as a portable retro gaming platform, maybe. In conclusion, laptops are continuing to grow more efficient, and the price for each unit within their respective use case has never been more affordable in general. So what is the point of a netbook in the modern day? With tech like our smartphones that could easily surf the web and utilize applications fairly well, we shouldn't forget that we didn't always have it this good. Laptops 10 and 15 years ago were mostly used for business only, so for the common user, netbooks were the answer for those who didn't have wallets breaking their seams. So what would you use a netbook similar to the Gateway LT40 for? A classic game emulating station, or a simple machine to use for school notes and a bit of YouTube video streaming? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and of course I'll have a link to where you can buy this netbook in the video description also. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and I'm sorry about the late upload. No, I'm not dead or quitting just yet. I've just been very sick the past week and haven't found the energy to do anything outside of work. There's sure to be a terrific lineup of videos in store for you guys in the future. Please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the content I push out to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. See you then.